Wicked here, and it is Fun Draw Friday. So all you're gonna need is an eraser and a pencil. So I had the opportunity to collaborate and draw something. Team 63A, and I got to draw one of my favorite characters, Nightcrawler. So since I'm still kind of feeling that right now, I figured I'd go ahead and draw another Nightcrawler picture. Okay. So you're just going to need a pencil and an eraser, and let's get started. Alright, so we're going to do like a super dynamic pose. Alright, so like the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to sketch out a little bit of a head. Okay, now the reason why we're drawing it so small is, like I said, we're going to make this super dynamic. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I want to run off just a little bit of the neck here. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put in the shoulders. Okay, so we really want to kind of make sure we're building this out into shapes. Okay, now the thing with Nightcrawler is, much like Spider-Man, he's very skinny, okay, very agile, so we want to make sure that we're not drawing him too big. Okay, so I'm just kind of shaping things up. So for now, we're just going to build out the shapes here. Okay. So we gotta kind of make it look like his arm is stretching out towards us. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to build that out with the bicep shape. So if you notice, I am just building up the shapes of the arm right now. And the closer that I get to us, the viewer, the bigger things are going to get. Okay. So for now, we have this big, huge forearm here. Okay. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to run right off the side here. Get another shape going down towards the finger. Now Nightcrawler only has the 3 fingers. Okay, so I am going to get rid of this outside line. Right? Down, and then I'm going to draw a little bit of this knuckle here, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this out, and really build that finger up. Okay, because we want it to look like it's coming towards us. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of round out that way. And let's just bring that in like that. Okay. So that'll be our finger. Okay. This will run back like this. And then again, it'll start to get skinny on us. And we're going to need a thumb. Okay. And we'll just build that back this way. Down, and we'll go ahead and bring that finger back that way. so now we have this long arm reaching back towards the body. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start building up the face just a little. So I just have more of a shape, so it'd be like my chin line there. Okay. That was one of my first big draws, because my favorite character of all time is obviously Spider-Man. So Nightcrawler is my second, for that very reason of that agility and speed. But then it was like taking the coolness of everything that's Spider-Man, right? And then making him able to teleport, you know, and having that kind of demonic look to him too was kind of cool. And I just fell in love with the character after that, with his personalities. Alright, so what we're doing now is we're really trying to build up a shape for the body here. Okay, so we may bring the back end just a little bit more. So we'll cut into it. And we're going to go for a very stylized look here. Okay, so I'm going to kind of build up my shapes here to really get everything into place. Alright, we're not going to see much of it, but we are going to have our arm back this way. Okay. And we have to draw on that booty a little bit, just so that we have something in place here. Okay. So now that we have that, we need to kind of protrude out the hips just a little. Okay, and then we'll draw the rest of that thigh shape. Now again, Nightcrawler is more on the skinny side, so I am going to come in here and kind of cut things down a little bit, just so that we keep that aesthetic in there. Okay, so now we have that cut down. I'll bring that in like that. Okay, then we're going to kind of come out. Well, let's pull this knee out a little bit more. So let's go ahead and make this thigh muscle thinner. Okay, we'll go ahead and come out with that knee right there. And then we're going to work in a slight calf muscle. Again, you know me, I like to go really stylized, so I'm kind of exaggerating shapes here. So we can go ahead and get rid of that outside shape there. Alright. And then we're going to poke out that knee a little bit here. Okay. And then have that kind of come out and start to turn in behind. And then we can come off the back side of the calf here. And bring that foot in. Okay. Then we're going to extend that leg down. And we'll have two toes there. Again, Nightcrawler is not complete with the perfect perfect human anatomy, so he's got different shaped toes and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to skinny up this leg just a little bit more. Okay, that means we can bring his bottom in a little bit. Okay. And Nightcrawler also has a tail. Okay, so we want to kind of do something real dynamic with it. So I want to make sure that we show that movement. By bringing that in and wrapping around to the front. Okay. So now we have a basic foundation set up, right? I want to kind of make sure that I have, so like I have my chin here. I want to make sure that I really have this head shape. So we're going to kind of curve this out and bring that shape in. Draw this line down here so we get an idea of where everything's going to fall, as well as a chin shape here. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding all of our details in here. So we want to start building up his outfit, right? So the first thing with Nightcrawlers, he has this red shape that goes down the side of his body, right? And it just continues down into his like his pelvis region. Down here, so I can split this now by erasing it. And having that there. And then he also has it, so if that's there like this, right, we can bring that, let's just erase this part here, bring that around back, as well. Okay, now we're obviously changing up design a little bit to fit the needs that I want. So we're going to come in here and start building up the wrist. He wears gloves, so that's what we're trying to build up, is what I'm getting at. Okay, so we want to kind of bring this in that way and come around. Okay, and then he has a little bit of a red outline to his glove. So we're going to add that in there. And then same thing down here on the feet. We want to make sure we have that shape on there. Right? And then we just redo it by coming down to the front like that. And then we're going to see ever so slightly. I'm going to have it come up right here. Okay. I don't really see too much the other side. We'll have that cut off there. Okay. So I really want that tail to come off here as well. Alright. So now I can start doing things like adding in the face, right? So we have this area here. So I can just bring the mouth in at this area. And erase up to this point. I can also build out my chin a little bit because he's kind of known for having that pointed chin. So I can bring that out that way. Alright. And then right in here, I can bring out that bottom lip. Okay. And we kind of have that top lip shape there. We can bring that all the way around. And then the next thing I want is that nose. So I'm going to erase out this part here. And I'm going to bring that nose up. And I really want to make sure that I kind of square it off. So let's kind of come out with it a little bit first. And then bring that back in there. Just like that. Okay. And then we can come in here with the eyes. And just build up our eye shape. Now he's known for having yellow eyes. Okay, so we don't have to draw that in. No pupils or anything like that. Okay. And then we can have our little bit of eyebrow. Just like that. Alright, now we also have his pointy ears. That's why Wolverine gave him the nickname of Elf. Alright, so we kind of want that to come right off the jawline there. Again, we're exaggerating this, so I'm going to really stretch that out. Down there. I can just clean up around the edges like that. Okay. So right now it kind of looks like we had his mouth open. So I'm going to make his lip a little bit smaller. That, and we can go that way. Alright, so one of the main things that attracted me, and I'm just going to start working in the hair, but just really made me like his character was, you know, Nightcrawler grew up in a very remote town in Germany. He is the son of Mystique, and a wealthy count was his father. And because he looked like a demon, he was not obviously well accepted into the community that he was born into. He thought he was a demon. And despite all of that hatred and everything, he found solitude in a monastery filled with monks, learned about God, and still, regardless of what anybody would try to do to him, would love them in return and protect them. And I just really found that fascinating, that someone so disfigured compared to human standards, having that demon look and being ill-treated his entire life, not being able to walk out in public, had to join a circus just to fit in. That's where he learned his acrobatic skills and his fencing. But despite all of that, he was still able, and I'm sorry about that if you couldn't see that in there, but I've just added this hair shape in there, so if you want to pause and do that. But despite all that, he was still able to find forgiveness for everybody and help out. Just the fact that he's, like I said, a stellar acrobat, master swordsman, and just the ability to teleport wherever you want. Of course, he can only do it up to about 3 miles at a time. And I'm giving him really spiky hair on this one just because I like that kind of look on him. So that's personal choice. I understand he traditionally has more curly hairdo, but I just like giving him more of a spiky dew on it. But yeah, he's just an all-around just good character. You can relate to him in a lot of ways. I think people can. And like I said, just that ability to teleport. If you have not seen X-Men United, which is the second X-Men movie, and that opening scene in the White House where he is just all over the place teleporting in there, just tearing those Secret Service agents up. And obviously he's not a bad guy, but he was just under some mind control. Alright, so now I'm just going through and fixing and refining. So like I'm going to shorten his hair up here. But he was just wrecking shop in that movie. But I mean, if you want to see a live action version of him just really going to town, that is probably the best display of why I think he's so cool. Alright, so I'm just going through and I'm just going to refine my lines. Okay. And again, your goal is not to 100% match mine and what I got. Your goal is to just watch how I break things down and draw them out, and then just try to put that into practice for yourself. So when you go through and refine everything, it kind of helps you find the places where to eliminate a lot of that sketchiness that's in there. Okay. And that's really gonna be it as far as adding details to this character. We still have to go through and just refine now. I think I'm gonna pull this down some, just so it runs down more, and then I can erase this a little bit and pull that back that way. Okay, so yeah, I cannot wait, because I was not a huge fan in those X-Men movies of how they portrayed Nightcrawler. To an extent, you know, like his design wise. I'm not saying it has to be one for one like the comic book, but just the putting the scars on his face, like branding himself with the angelic words and stuff like that. Like, I understand why they did it, and and it seemed like they were just trying to avoid putting fur on his body, because that's actually what he's covered in. And I'm cool with that, but you could just made him blue. Like, you didn't have to put all those designs on him. So I hope whatever, now that, Disney has the X-Men now and Kevin Feige with the MCU, I want to see them finally do this character justice and make him just completely awesome in the way that they did for Spider-Man. And that would be very cool for me. It would be the best day ever. Let me go in there and see that. So, alright, so we know the last routine, right? It's going to be, let's do this. Let's add a little bit of the arm back here. And then we want that shape to show the glove cut off, alright? So now comes the part where I usually go around. Again, you don't have to do this part. This is where I thicken things up to make it pop off the page. But once you just go around and add that in, again, I know I say this a lot, but the reason why I do not do the shading on some of these videos is just so that it gives you the opportunity to be creative and either do that yourself. You can add your own shading, you can pick up a colored pencil, marker, whatever, or maybe you have a digital program. You can now pull this image into there and re-outline it and go in there and color and shade on your own with that one. But either way, it leaves it open to your creativity. Like, I would love to see you guys take this image and then just add some extra to it. Like maybe he's got something in the background, he's on top of a building, just something. You can be creative with it. That is completely up to you. And I'm going to finish going around this. Almost done. A little fact about Nightcrawler that most people don't know is, and I always thought was kind of funny and cool at the same time when I found out, was that black, or that purpley smoke from his teleportation that he does. He's actually hopping between a demon dimension and appearing on the outside. He just travels through it really fast. But there was like a little extent where he actually got stuck in that demon world. So he's not actually like transporting from one point to another in a sense of like he opens a portal and he sees the other side. He's literally going from one dimension to another dimension back into our dimension. The other thing that's really cool, well, it's probably not cool for him, but when he does teleport, it leaves a rotten egg smell that can also be disorienting to his opponents, which is really cool too. So there's a little fun Nightcrawler trivia fact for you. And we are almost done here. Just going to refine some things as I see them. And continuing to thicken up the outside. I really wanted to put like that smoke around him from his teleportation. So we'll see how maybe we can work that in here as well. yeah, if you get a chance to pick up his comics, see him in action, in a movie, those things are out there. He's had his own comic runs too. His best stuff is with Excalibur and the X-Men. Okay. So that is how he looks now. Let's see if we can. I'm just going to draw in some teleportation smoke here. So again, you can pause the video to keep up and try to draw it. I'm going to make him have some of that around him, just because that's just what he's known for, is that teleporting. Again, not a part that you have to do, but if you want to do it, you can. There we go. Add in a few more things here. Okay, and then I'm going to go through again for that part. I'm going to go around and pop out that as well. Again, you don't have to do this part. Okay. So, while we're finishing that up, if you like the video, please leave a comment, as it helps the channel. You can just tell me whether it's looking good, or if you have suggestions about characters you want drawn on these Fun Draw Fridays, you can always just let me know. Maybe you want to do a mix and match, you know. Just leave a comment down in there and I will try to work that into a video within reason, obviously. You can like, you can subscribe if you like what it is that I'm doing. Also, that really helps out the channel, and if this channel does ever grow, that will really help me be able to do more content on a regular basis. I already have 4 videos out a week, and if leaving a comment or not subscribing is not what you're really down to do and you just came here to draw, honestly, I am cool with that too. I'm just glad you came by to visit and learn a little something today. I have fun doing these though. It's really just more of a hobby than anything else. But I love teaching people how to draw, trying new things. So I hope that you are actually learning something from these. I hope if you do the other videos, that you're doing homework by continuing to practice, maybe coming up with a cool design for your own favorite X-Men character. That'd be cool to see. So feel free to, ask your parents, or if you're an adult, just get on the Twitter at WickedArt5 and share your work with me. I'd love to see your progress. Alright. Other than that, we are almost done. I'm just going to swing this around. Back side over here. And another way you can help support the channel is if you like some of my designs, you might find some of them, or even some designs you haven't seen me do, on TeePublic or Redbubble. You can buy that merchandise there. It also helps support the channel. And it's not just for t-shirts. It's got coffee mugs, laptop laptop cases, things like that, masks. But yeah, if you like some of my artwork and you want to go check some of that stuff out, feel free to go ahead. And that is going to do it for our Fun Draw Friday. Again, I hope you had fun. Thanks for stopping by and joining. And until the next time I see you, keep sketching and have fun. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.